Yukon Striker is the tallest, fastest, and longest dive coaster in the world. But does size translate to success? Well, today we're going to answer that very question. So join me as we head on a journey through the Canadian frontier to cover everything Yukon Striker. From the ride experience, theming, trains, and even how I rank it among the dive coasters I've ridden. So without further ado, let's get straight into my review of Yukon Striker. Yukon Striker starts with a slow right turn out of the station before entering the steep 223-foot tall lift, giving a great view of the park. And after you reach the top of that lift, you have another incredible view of the park as you slowly line up with the holding brake. And once you are lined up with that holding brake, you creep forward until slowing to a crawl while looking over the main drop that you will soon traverse. And that drop is amazing. 245 feet, 90 degrees. It truly does not get more crazy from a stats perspective. Yukon Striker's drop almost reminded me of a Giga Coaster's drop, the way it seems to go on forever. It is noticeably longer than the drop on Valravn, despite only actually dropping around 20 more feet. Next, Yukon Striker heads into an underground tunnel, which offers a great hand chopper effect if you put your hands up, though it is a little hard to with the vest restraints. Then, just like pretty much every other dive coaster, you head into an Immelman, which features a lot of positive Gs as well as just being a pretty cool element. Next, you head into a Zero G Winder, which is a great combination of a Zero G roll and a Sidewinder that offers a nice bit of negative Gs at the top. Then, Yukon Striker heads into an element that is a first of its kind on a dive coaster, this forceful vertical loop. And this thing really does have some force. I mean, I nearly grayed out because of the sustained positives. It's crazy. Next, you head into a second Immelman, before smoothly hopping into the mid-course brake run, which slows you to a crawl. Like, seriously, just look at how slow it is going. Anyways, to close out the ride, you have a pretty mediocre little drop, before hopping into the final element of the ride, a picturesque helix that offers great visuals and a small amount of positive Gs. And after you exit that helix, you head into the brake run, which ends your 3,625 foot long journey on Yukon Striker. Yukon Striker features the new wide track B&M dive coaster trains. These are almost identical to those on Valravn, just with different colors. And overall, I don't have anything bad to say about these trains. I mean, while the vests aren't for everyone, I personally don't really mind them and think they feel amazing. And the looks aren't too bad either. The trains themselves are inherently quite hard to theme, but Canada's Wonderland went the extra mile by adding the detail of different ore colors on the seatbacks. These definitely reminded me of how Gold Striker at CGA has different ore-themed trains. Overall, these trains are nothing crazy, but they get the job done comfortably with a little bit of style. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. Yukon Striker has one of the coolest and most elaborate themes I've seen at a regional amusement park. And that theme goes as follows. It's 1897, and a flood of men and women are venturing into the untamed wilderness of northwestern Canada, fueled by little more than a rumor of limitless gold. The headwaters of the Yukon spread beyond an unforgiving landscape, tempting newcomers with the promise of riches that lay buried in ice-cold riverbeds throughout the Klondike. Most prospectors are doomed to fail. The journey is treacherous along the Chiltuk Trail, a steep and punishing climb to the coastal mountain range. The seasons are extreme, and the backcountry, for all its beauty, is unyielding. Among the lawless boom towns and outposts, only a few will succeed in this quest for glory. A golden eagle soars high in the winds, watching the perilous hunt. Who will endure the longest journey? Who will conquer the tallest mountain pass, the treacherous terrain, and rise worthy of the name Yukon Striker? This theme is just great, and the fact that this ride opened alongside the Frontier Canada section of the park, with this being the centerpiece, is also amazing. I also really like the presentation of the ride. The station and other thematic pieces around the station fit the theme great, as well as looking cool. This is easily a super strong point for the ride. Yukon Striker is a fantastic dive coaster. There's no other way of putting it. In my opinion, it is much better than its sister coaster in Valravn. This ride is truly only limited by its model and the types of elements that model can traverse. You really can't just add a crazy wave turn on a dive coaster. It just doesn't really work like that. And the thing is, that's okay. This ride and its model was not meant to please enthusiasts. We are a very small majority of a theme park's attendance and an even smaller part of their profits. This ride will be a GP machine, just as Valravn is, for years and years to come. So, does size equal success? In many ways, yes, but not always. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.